Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 94 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Alyson. I'm coming at you from Ohio.
Surprise! Did anybody call it? I'm recording from Scotland still. Reliable Scotland.
Oh.
Me. Oh, and there's a cat.
Oh. Yep. Move.
Right, so you are in Ohio. We mentioned
I'm in Ohio
last week that you were going to be somewhere new.
Yes, I'm in Toledo, in the outer parts of Toledo. I'm only 2 miles away from the Michigan border, where our house is not quite ready, and there's
more adventures await you.
More, yes. So
is Toledo part of? Because I remember driving through Ohio when we used to live there, or I don't know, and driving through on the highway and passing all of these Spanish named places. Is Toledo part of that? I feel like I remember saying like a Madrid and a Salamanca.
I don't know. I have no idea. I never really gave it much thought. But Toledo's on the other end of where we used to live. Mm-hmm. We used to live the east of Cleveland, almost at the border.
Which is, for anybody not familiar with the States, is right on the coast of the one of the Great Lakes.
The Erie Lake. And then very close to Pennsylvania. And now we're on the other end, but also in the northern part. So, yeah. It was funny driving around. I was like, oh, yeah, we used to go to that store when we used to live in Ohio, which I'm in right now.
Ohio again.
So that was kind of weird.
So I have to admit, I think, so I don't know if, just real talk, I feel like for the last few episodes, it's been, you've had to wrestle me into doing the episode because I've just been so exhausted. But today, I'm really looking forward to this episode, to recording. I'm finally, I think I'm refreshed and I'm ready to be here, and I'm yeah.
So you have lots of yarny bits and bobs then? Because we're going to stick the Moorit stuff in there?
Not necessarily. I think I've talked a lot about Moorit, but I've been doing things, and yeah, I'm just, I like to podcast with you. I was mentioning to a friend last night that I was going to record today, and she thought it was something for the magazine, and I was like, no, I do a podcast with my mom. And she's like, oh yeah, you did mention that. I was like, yeah, I do a podcast with my mom. Anyway, so yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for this episode. We are inching our way towards episode 100.
Yes, we are. Inch.
But anyway, so we have a BuzzFeed quiz, and the BuzzFeed quiz that you picked today is pack a lunchbox and we'll tell you what type of cookie matches your energy. Will I go first?
Sure, go ahead.
I got raspberry white chocolate. And it says, you're definitely a wallflower because you'd rather just observe and listen. Whenever you do talk for a while, you feel like everyone is ignoring you and you're rambling. You don't necessarily play things safe, but you do play things smart. So, I don't really know what that means. I mean, the first part I know, but, I don't think I'm a wallflower. Maybe I used to be, but...
Yeah, you definitely used to be when you were younger.
Mm-hmm. I also, raspberry white chocolate is definitely not one of my top chocolate or cookie flavors.
I was going to say, you don't like that, but you like my cookie. I am a lemon cookie. Ooh. Listen, you're kind of an oddball, but in the best way. You strive to, I think it's supposed to be strive. You strive to make everyone laugh and keep out any serious conversation topics. And we know that chair in your room is still piled high with clothes, but no hate. I'm not sure about what that means about that. That I'm disorganized?
Maybe. I have a thing next to my bed called Clothes Mountain. Clothes Mountain shrinks and grows and shrinks and grows. Clothes Mountain is probably like Clothes Hill right now. So I definitely feel that pile of clothes on the chair thing. If I had a chair, it'd be on the chair.
Yeah, I have one. A pot. Not here, but yeah. clothes that you just wear for like an hour or two, and then you set it aside to wear it again. Because you
Yeah.
know, I've definitely adopted this inside clothes, outside clothes um, thing going on because my inside clothes have lots of cat holes in them, like cat claws. So when I come home now, I just change out of whatever clothes I was wearing out, and I put on my grubby t-shirt, whatever, um, that'll have cat holes in them.
Because you have a needy cat.
Yeah. Yes, needy and needy.
Yeah.
Needy with an N and needy with a K.
All right, so this is obviously a food-based quiz because we had to pack a lunchbox. And the first question was, what kind of sandwich would you like?
So when I was a kid, I wouldn't have liked any of these other than, well, I guess peanut butter and jelly, but we didn't get much of that. Grilled cheese, even though it's cold, I'll eat a grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm. I thought about picking grilled cheese. I ended up going for the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, even though in the picture it seems to be toasted, which I do not agree with.
Yeah. And it's a little bit too much
jelly.
Yeah.
But yeah, peanut butter and jelly with strawberry jelly. That's what I want.
Okay. What kind of pick a snack to throw in?
I have gone for tortilla chips. Especially if they're like good tortilla chips.
Oh, I ended up with hummus and chips. Pita chips.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about what dessert did you pick from a chocolate bar, pudding cup, cupcake, chocolate chip cookies, gummy bears, or brownies?
Pudding cup.
Pudding cup. Ah, pudding cup. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think about what that meant, but I went for chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, I almost picked chocolate chip cookies because those look like really nice homemade chocolate chip cookies. But I went with the pudding cup.
Yeah.
And then lastly, add drink.
Apple juice.
I picked chocolate milk because as a kid, that's all I drank. That's all I wanted to drink is chocolate milk. I remember we didn't have hot lunch in one of my elementary schools, but we had milk every day, and you could pick white milk or chocolate milk, and it was always like not quite cold, and because I like my milk really cold, so that meant the chocolate milk would taste better because it masked the milk taste.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't really like milk
but the chocolate milk was 1 penny more than the white milk. I think it was like 5 cents and 6 cents or something like that. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but yeah, I had to make sure I had that extra penny for my chocolate milk.
No, I can. I mean, I packed my lunch or not. I brought a packed lunch to school, like pretty much all throughout high school, and I would have juice boxes.
And I made your sandwich every day. My sister used to yell at me, "I can't believe you're still making your sandwich. She's a senior in high school." Like, well, whatever.
You were making
I have to make all the other ones. So I continued that until Madeline graduated from high school. She had her sandwiches made every day because she didn't even know how to buy hot lunch because she had never bought it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like that. I mean, I had done it like eventually, but like. It was all it was like definitely a thing, like a stressful thing to be like, oh crap, I don't know how do I buy my lunch. Like
because you've all been to all different schools, so like sometimes you need a PIN number, sometimes Madeline said that she wanted to buy a snack and she had cash and they wouldn't take it because she didn't know her PIN number. She's like, I don't even have any money in my account.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one of those weird things. Okay. Crafty content?
Sure.
You gotta start. Okay. I know you've been working on something.
Yeah, I mean, same things. I've been working on my Jade Dress by Natasha Robarge. This is an interweave pattern. Ta-da! So I now have like a crop top. It's quite long. It goes like basically to my hip.
Oh, wow. It's not a shrug anymore, or
A bolero.
What would you say it was? A bolero.
Yeah. So yeah, this is take 2. I completely frogged the first attempt, so it's now sitting as balls, ready to be put into this one. And I think it's okay. So I was just thinking I might just cut the video here so I can model it because I don't want to take my shirt off in front of everybody. Okay, and we're back. Right, so this is this is holding some yarn because I still haven't, like, everywhere it said to fasten off the yarn, I didn't, just in case I had to frog this. So it's like, so instead of cutting it to switch from like here to there, it's just attached. And you can see there's a bit of yarn under my arm because that's attached to something, so I need to cut them so I can like weave them in. But let me just scooch back. So yeah, so it's got the V-neck, and I don't think the V-neck's too deep. It covers my chest. I've got my fluttery sleeves. Yeah, and I think it fits all right. So there's like plenty of space, in terms of like the sizing. But I think that's good because based off of when I blocked my swatches, the swatches, they were about 5.5 inches to begin with, and they shrunk by about 1/4 of an inch, both vertically and horizontally. So the vertical shrinking like really isn't that much of a problem because I'm so short anyway. There's a fire truck going by. And then the horizontal shrinking, because I've got this extra space, I think it'll be fine. And you were saying if there's still too much space, I can sew in like pleats on the back or something. But at the moment, we'll just have to see how it comes out after it's been washed and blocked. I had a moment of panic after I tried it on for you. I tried it on again, and I was like, oh no, are the arms too tight? Like, even the one that doesn't have the yarn going across it, the spare yarn, it's because it's not stretchy, because it's a chain.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine. Like, it's maybe a bit tight if I put my arms out straight and cross them in front of me. But
you're not going to be doing that.
I just won't do a lot of that. Like, just, yeah.
What is that like?
But then, I panic. So I'm like, oh, it's going to shrink both ways. Like, it's going to get smaller. But I just can't. I just have to keep going. And Sam said to me that the reason this happens is because I'm too much of a perfectionist. Because I undo something and I change it a little, instead of changing it, like, I don't really know. Like, if I adjust it a little bit, it's like, oh, actually that wasn't enough, so then I undo it again and adjust it a little bit more, as opposed to just like adjusting it, a cautious amount, like more, and just, I don't know. I don't even know if that makes any sense anymore. But anyway, so I think it's gonna be okay. I'm hoping. Well, I don't know how far I'll get in the next couple months, but
well, you look very good next to your light with the teal and the copper inside.
Oh yeah, very similar colors. Right, so that's that. I might just keep this on now, so I don't have to change. And then the other thing I picked back up is some knitting.
Oh! You did something else.
What's that? An imperceptible amount. So this is working on my 373 cardigan, which was that Japanese
pattern. That's right. You didn't finish that yet.
Because I got to the knitting bit. So just to say that I haven't forgotten about it, and I picked it up again, and I was a little bit nervous about picking up knitting again because obviously, like, I figured it out, but I'm not super confident in it. I thought I might have forgotten, especially doing the continental knitting. But it was fine. Picked it up, started doing it again. The only problem was I knitted about an inch and then looked and realized I dropped a stitch, like way down, like too far to try and pick it back up. So I had to undo it. And as I was undoing it, because like I didn't, like, I can kind of tell like where this, like, each row is, like I can see it, but it was hard for me to try and pick out the row that I wanted to pull it to, because I remember the advice that you gave one of our readers to just when you make a mistake, you just kind of have to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? So, but I did like.
Did you stick a stitch marker in where you dropped?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I used one of the free needles, and just tried to put it through all the stitches a row below where I dropped it, or close to where I dropped it. And I did that, and then I unraveled it, and I missed a few loops, but that was fine. I just picked it back up. And most of them were the wrong direction. But as I was getting to it, I'm like, oh, I think I can tell. It needs to be in this direction. So changed it before I did my stitches, and then, change it, do my stitch. But yeah, I think it
goes going. You're going to be an expert.
Kind of goes to show as well, though, like, yeah, picking up the knitting again, I had to think about which side the active yarn is on. Like, which, if it's on your right needle, your left needle is looking at it. Just thinking, if I hold it like that, is it? Because it's just not intuitive for me.
Yeah.
It's on my right needle.
Yep.
So I didn't actually do as much as what I had done. I thought I'd done, because I don't do it. So,
you figured out you ripped it and then you picked it back up.
Yep, and it wasn't the end of the world. So it all worked out. Yeah, so working on this again.
Did you have any trouble? Because there's the mohair in
it actually was fine. I don't know if that's because there's a couple places where at the row ends where I had to jiggle it a little bit more, but it came out pretty easily. I don't know if it's because I'm knitting on a slightly looser side.
Oh.
I mean, that would make it probably easier.
Maybe a little easier.
So yeah, this wasn't too bad. What about you? What have you been working on?
I'm still working my Spector sweater, and I finished the body. I could model it too. So remember we were talking about how after the blue there will be the pink. Well, I forgot that I bought an extra skein of yarn for this part that I added.
For the top.
So that's for the top part, yeah. So there's like that 2 light blues, 1, 2, and then that purpley pink, and then the blue. But I think my gauge, and because the yarns are all different, I didn't really I didn't really pay attention to my gauge when it comes to the rows. So my rows must be taller, because I ended up not using a lot of the blue at the end. See?
The dark blue.
I don't know if you can see. But I am liking the colors.
Very good.
Can't see my face, but I'm smiling. So, so I haven't picked up for the sleeves yet.
And it's full long sleeves, yeah.
It's long sleeves, yes. I have to do that, but I can't find the yarn. I don't know what I did to it. It's somewhere.
Oh no. It's definitely somewhere in Ohio.
Yes, it can't be in Tennessee. It's somewhere in Ohio. Either here, we're staying in an Airbnb. We also rented a place. Well, actually, in Michigan. So it's either here or in Michigan. Because we rented a place close to the house. And just like threw things into this little, it's like basically a walk-in closet. Oh. Because, we didn't want to bring everything here. Because we thought we were only going to be here a couple weeks. But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
So a storage unit, you mean?
Huh?
You rented a storage unit.
What?
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, a small one. Yeah. What I was saying, the size of a walk-in closet, that's the storage unit.
Yeah, well, when you just said we rented a place in Michigan.
Oh yeah, a self-storage unit. Sorry. There's a lot going on in my head right now.
That's good.
So because I couldn't work on that, I have to actually after we record, I'm gonna go back up to Michigan and look for my yarn so I don't go anywhere without it. So anyway, I started a new hat with another Germantown yarn that I got that was on sale.
Bright green.
This is the Year of Hats, the free patterns that was put out by Kelburn Knits, Kelburn Woolens also put out the yarn. And it's the October Hat by Sloan Rosenthal. And I like these cables. It's got these fat cables and it's got these skinny cables.
It reminds me a little bit of the cabled hat you made me.
Yeah, it's a cabled hat. But I didn't I got tired of doing the ribbing. So I stopped halfway, so it's not going to be folded over.
I see.
I got really tired of doing the ribbing. I don't want to do ribbing anymore. I want to get to the body of the hat.
Can you... No, I guess repeats would be too fiddly.
What do you mean?
Or could you just... Because you could still fold it at the rib before the cable starts, couldn't you? Like not exactly in half.
But into the cable?
Yeah, so it overlaps with the cable. Yeah.
I could. I'd have to make the hat longer.
Yeah. The cable part longer.
Yeah. I just got really tired of doing the cables. It's not my favorite thing to do. I mean, not cables. The rib.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing to do. So that's why I feel like sometimes the ribbing at the top of my socks gets like shorter and shorter. I don't want to do all this ribbing. So that's that. And those are my only 2 whips.
Does that mean you have an FO?
Because yes, I have an FO. I finished my Sprite Sven shawl, the wedding shawl for
It's not your shawl, it's Emily's shawl.
It's Emily. I haven't blocked it yet because it looks like, it looks like...
Yeah, it's very ruffly at the bottom.
It looks like seaweed, like white seaweed right now because it's all like bunched up and wrinkly. But I don't have anywhere to block it here, and I don't think I'll have anywhere to block it until we're in the house.
Oh.
So it'll be a while before I block it. And oh my gosh, this cast off took me half a day because it's like this stretchy cast off, and there's just an extra step, and there's 519 stitches at the very end, and yeah, it took me a long time. But yeah, I'm super happy with it.
Nice.
I think Emily's gonna be happy with it, and she stand up.
Well, that's really nice.
Look at that. And that's that. And it's very cozy too. It's because it's got cashmere in it. I can't wait to block it.
Yeah. You'll have to show it again once it's blocked.
Yeah, I'll block it, at some point before the wedding in January.
Ah, dang it. And... I can't podcast at the same time.
Oh no, did you drop a stitch again?
Yeah, I dropped a stitch and I was picking it up, and then as I was picking it up, I just dropped the needle out of all the other stitches.
Uh-oh.
It's fine, I'm a pro now. This is fine. I can fix it. I can fix it.
Okay, fix it, and then we can move on.
No, it's fine.
Oh, did you hear that?
I heard a cat meowing.
That was Sushi. There's a fly. There's been a fly buzzing around since yesterday, and they have kind of been going crazy. They can't catch it.
Have you seen those videos of people who like hold up their cats and the cats catch the fly?
Madeline used to do that. I've never seen the videos, but yeah, Madeline used to do that all the time. Like there would be.
And like, did our cats ever catch the flies?
Oh yeah, Sushi was really good at it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because it'll be stuck, like over the tub where you couldn't get, when Madeline would just like, the tub surround, and then she would get it. Willet was not so good at it.
That's so funny.
Oh.
The fly catchers.
Yep. Yep. That's the only way they can hunt is bugs. Like they'll go crazy for flies and spiders, I guess too.
Yeah.
You done yet?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Okay.
Now I'm just knitting. These are both the mohair and the linen of the dress I'm wearing. It's that Isager Isire. Yeah.
Okay.
One of these days I'm going to figure out how to pronounce it, and I'll pronounce it right every time.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. If you say so. So you got you've been very busy.
Yes, very busy with the magazine still, but kind of less.
It's out.
It's out. Yeah,
officially.
Oh, was this the first episode?
Yes, last time we spoke.
Technically.
Last time we recorded, it hadn't been out yet, but when we released it, it came out.
I see.
So this would have been before your celebration, before your Zoom thingy.
Okay, so the official release date was the 28th of September. It's out. All the pre-orders have gone out. I know like some of the international ones are still like trickling to their final destinations, which is it's frustrating, but it just kind of is the way it is. Some people in the States got it on the Monday before the release date. Some people are only receiving them now. So it kind of is hit and miss. Like, I think it just depends on your local postal service and all the places it had to get to before that. And yeah. Anyway, it's been like people have been posting how they've received it. It's been really cool to see like pictures of them in their, new homes and whatnot. And then we had a virtual lunch party on the Thursday afterwards. So a few of the designers were there talking about, the inspiration behind their designs and just a little bit about it, which was really interesting and I hope fun for everybody. It was fun for me, even though I feel like I know these patterns backwards and forwards. So.
But could you crochet them backwards and forwards?
I couldn't.
I did listen in. I couldn't participate because I was driving. Mm-hmm. I was making my 9-hour drive to here. So yes, it was very and because I was driving through the mountains, signal wasn't always good. So, people were cutting in and out. But from whatever I could hear, it was really interesting to hear the designers talk about their inspiration and how they came up with the idea for what they were doing and stuff like that. Very cool.
Yeah. I think something else, but anyway, but yeah. So it's done now. There's still orders trickling in, which is really fun, and the digital editions are available. So for people who don't want to deal with the shipping of the physical issue, and
I downloaded my digital edition yesterday because I kept like taking it out to look at things like, oh, I'm gonna ruin it. So because it's in my luggage, so every time I want to look at it, I have to like dig, root through my luggage and pull it out, and then take it out of the envelope, and then look at it, and then put it back in the envelope, and then put it back in my luggage. So I was like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna download the digital so I can look at it.
Yeah.
Without having to deal with luggage issues.
But yeah, I got another picture of one of the issue 2 designs, which is really exciting, and that's on its way to me. And then I think by the time this episode goes out, the issue 3 mood board and the call for submissions will be out. So have a look at that.
Is any hints about what the mood
I'll
board,
just say because it'll be out. It's the theme is going to be cosmos. So I've always loved space.
Cosmos. Yes.
Yeah. I had a telescope. We used to go stargazing when we lived in New York the first time. There used to be this massive field on like the top end of the road, which they later put like soccer fields in. But yeah, we go out there and do stargazing. I mean, I can identify planets in terms of like that's a planet, and then I have to look up like it is Saturn. I can do the Big Dipper, Cassiopeia, and Orion, and that's basically it.
One of your favorite books when you were little was about the Big Dipper, and it was about how it changes, from season to season, what it looked like. And I think you still refer to that.
Yeah, no, I still remember because throughout the
it.
year it faces different directions. So I will tell you what it says in the book, and the way they explain it is in the winter, the handle is pointing down like an icicle. And then in the spring, it's upside down to water the flowers. And then in the summer, it's on its side again, with the ladle pointing down because it's about to scoop into a pitcher of lemonade or something. And then in the autumn, it's right side up, so you can go bobbing for apples in it. So I still remember that. And that's the direction that the Big Dipper faces.
I think I got that book for you when you were like first or second grade.
It had other, like, I remember it like tells you about how like other cultures refer to the Big Dipper as, other things. I think it's a plow in one country, and how, however many thousands of years ago it used to look like this, and in the future it actually looked like this. And I took some of my like science books from a parent's home.
Yeah, you had texted me like, don't get rid of my space books, and I didn't.
Yeah,
because I was starting to get rid of a lot of things.
Yeah, I have my panic. The Usborne Complete Book of Astronomy and Space from my childhood, which I'm sure some of the information is outdated, but some of it's not, And I just like, it's not like I read it, but I just like having it because I used to love like flipping through it as a kid. And I also have my constellation like Kearney chart.
Planisphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Planisphere, yeah. You can set it to a time on a day and it will tell you what stars you'll be able to see or what the night sky should show you at that time. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I totally encouraged your nerdiness when you were little.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that was a tangent to say the third issue theme is Cosmos.
Oh, very cool. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see issue 2. What's going to be on it? Oh! I get to have sneak peeks because I'm your mama.
Yeah. Privileged information goes to this one.
Yes.
I mean, you behind the scenes, you and Emily were a bit of a sounding board when I was commissioning issue 2 because the designs were due while I was in Florida or just before, and I had to.
Yeah, we get to put our 2 cents in, colors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and so that's always fun.
Yeah, because it's just because it's just me. Yeah, I trust myself, but also sometimes you want somebody to chat things out with, and
yeah, yours, a second opinion is always good too sometimes.
So yeah,
super proud of you, sweetie. Thanks. Can't wait to see issue 2. I'm gonna have to buy it, aren't I?
What, issue 2?
Yeah.
I'll keep a family library.
Yeah.
Right. Well.
Okay.
Don't really have anything else, do you?
That's all right.
You haven't been exploring Toledo's yarn scene?
Not yet. Well, there is a yarn store in between here and where the house is going to be. I will probably stop by. Mm-hmm. Actually, I probably won't stop by until after when we're back again. Because tune in next time. I'll be in a different place.
Oh God,
I won't be here.
We should start taking bets. Where do you think my mom will be next episode?
It won't be in the state of Ohio, and it won't be in the state of Michigan.
Right.
Those are the 2 hints.
Yeah. Well.
So we'll see where we're gonna be because it's taking. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. Not here.
Okay. Well, will we say
time for your spiel?
Yeah. Goodbye. So you can find the show note for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram, although we haven't been posting very much lately, but that's kcacy podcast as well. My personal Instagram is Alyson here. My mom's is upstate_Viv. You can like and subscribe and comment and review and thumbs up and do all the things to the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, wherever else you stream podcasts. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.